This is BL in the air. My name is Chy,
And I'm Alex.
and we have a special guest with us today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I am Tristyn or Tris. I am very excited and nervous to chat, but I have a lot of questions which will hopefully be answered.
Yay! Yeah,
Yay.
we're very excited to have you. Today, basically, we wanted to do an episode for people who are unfamiliar with like Thai BL or maybe just BL in general. Um, and so we thought we'd have Tristyn come on who because you've watched like K-dramas and stuff before, like you've seen like Asian dramas, right?
Yes, so I've seen a couple Japanese dramas but mainly a bunch of K-dramas, but never any like BL content, like no dramas or webtoons or like anything like that. So I'm like fully new.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that's what today we wanted a guest who was new but like willing to ask questions and like learn and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy you're on today. We just kind of wanted to basically go over like some terminology you'll commonly see in like Thai BLs, that maybe if you're new to it, you'll be confused about. What makes Thai BL unique, and then like what shows we recommend people to start with. So that's kind of the what to expect from the episode today. But as always, we always start off with what's in the air. So basically, just let me know whatever you're watching right now. So Tristyn, what's in the air with you?
Well, in the air, there's been a lot of chatter of, Mormonism
Hmm.
for secret lives of, Mormon wives, but my Mormon TV has been the Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Hmm.
Incredible series filled with drama, insane things going on constantly. Um, so basically, I've been rewatching that. Uh, that's pretty much the only TV that I've been watching lately. But yeah,
I love reality TV.
it's too good.
It
It's too
is.
good to pass up.
So what like okay, so there's a bunch of different housewives in different locations, right?
Yeah,
So what makes the Salt Lake City one your favorite?
I think it's honestly the addition of the Mormonism
Yeah.
that is in there because it just makes everything so much wilder. I mean, they like will judge people sometimes like for drinking, and all of their morals are just like totally different. Some people are leaving the church, some people are still in the church. It's just like it's crazy housewives but added on like some like nutty religious things. It's crazy.
Hmm.
What about you, Shy? What's in the air with you?
So yeah, glad you asked. Very similarly, I have been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So it's a Mormon wife week, I guess.
Definitely.
That's
Definitely
really
the
funny.
complete opposite of like BL content, but it's like I'm such a sucker for like good reality TV, and I saw this show come out, and I was kind of familiar with some of the content creators on it because like a lot of it is about the like Mormon wife swinger scandal.
What?
Like,
Oh,
so okay, so on TikTok, so okay, the friend group that it follows, they're all like content creators, and like there was some scandal where I guess they called it soft swinging. So they would like
what?
so they would like hook up with each other's husbands and stuff, but and it was like some and then some like cheating happened, and then like one of them went on Instagram live or TikTok live and like aired out all this like dirty laundry about all their soft swinging whatever. And so that's kind of how like I think it like their friend group kind of blew up. So like the first part of the show kind of is like about that because they're all like mad at the one girl who was the one who like was the whistleblower for the swinging, the Mormon
Oh
wife
God.
swinging.
My God.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, their friendship is a mess, honestly. So,
That's so wild.
yeah.
Why does it seem like everything on TikTok Live is just so messy? It's like,
I know.
I think that's the only like reality show I watch at this point is TikTok lives.
Mhm.
I mean, understandable to call it a reality show. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what goes on there. Maybe because it's like monetized, like you can get money from it or something. I don't know. Well, what about you, Alex? What's in the air with you? Any Mormon wives?
No, because I don't watch reality TV, but I'm finally off of my Japanese BL streak and back into Thai.
Mhm.
So
What are you
I
watching?
I finally caught up in 4 minutes just for the last episode to come out today. So I have one episode left.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm I'm so glad that I waited to watch because I don't know that I could handle waiting for a week after the way that last episode ended.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
really glad cuz I'm like 2 episodes behind and I'm glad I forgot about the second to last episode cuz now I can watch both of them together and I don't have to suffer a week in between.
yeah, a week in between those is rough.
Mhm.
Um, Tristan, for your info, this is definitely not a starter show.
Oh no.
It's it is very spicy and also the plot is very hard to follow.
Oh God.
There's multiple timelines happening, and I don't think I knew which one was the real one until episode 7 out of 8.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I'm not
god.
entirely sure that it's the real one.
Real. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, I kind of understand what's happening, but I'm just not sure what's real and what's not yet.
Yeah, there's a lot. 7 episode 7 clarified a bit. Um, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
we'll see how it ends. Um,
It's good though. I mean,
yeah.
like cinematography wise, it's like definitely like up there with some
Yeah.
of the best, you know?
And the acting is so good too. It's just like all of it like
Mhm.
it's a good show. It's
It's
I would not
intense.
recommend it as a beginner show.
What is the name of the show?
4 minutes, and then
Oh
with
my
that,
God.
I I kinda, I guess, hate myself a little bit, and I started Jack and Joker even though 1 episode's out.
Oh, yeah, you're insane for that.
Yeah, but I just no one would shut up about it on social media.
One
I
episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Are you
you're
gonna
gonna
wait
put me in.
weekly now?
Yeah.
I always wait till at least like 5 are out, and even then I'll binge 5 immediately, and then I'll suffer for the next like 7 weeks or 8 weeks.
Yeah, I just the way everyone was talking, and then, like, the stats came out for the first episode, and it's, like, the highest rated BL ever on, like, iQIYI, and, like, the most watched BL ever for an episode or something like that, like, the stats for it are unreal. Um,
Was it good?
yeah, it was really good. I wasn't too sure from, like, the beginning how it was gonna start, I was like, "I don't get the hype," and then by the end of it, I was like, "Oh, no, I get it."
Okay.
Like, I see where episode 2 is going, and I'm like, "I am so on board with everything."
Was it like action kinda?
So episode 1's a lot of background, I would say, like,
Okay.
setup. I think action will start with episode 2, because I there's a time jump that's gonna happen.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm excited to start it. I don't know if I wanna start it now, but
Yeah.
I will for sure watch it.
I just with everyone being so excited about this show, I was like, if I'm gonna be on Twitter, I have to deal with the hype and the
Y
spoilers, so I might as well
yeah.
watch it.
Oh, that's the worst when you just see so many people talking about something, you're like, "Okay, I'll bite. I have to watch it."
Yep.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm back on Tumblr and, like, sometimes, like, they'll post, like, a lot about a show, and I'm just like, I either have to blacklist this because I don't wanna be spoiled, or I should just watch it, you know? That's way easier.
Yeah, I just always watch.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm only watching, like, multiple on-air shows right now. Um,
Yeah, right.
Oh gosh.
you ready to be educated, Tris?
I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
It's a whole new world out here.
First off would be some terminology. Um, because I think coming in from K-dramas too and into that, there's a whole lot of words to learn.
Mhm.
Um, like one of the first things is BL, like a lot of times is referred to as a Y series or a series Y. Um,
What does that mean?
I don't entirely know. I think it's
I
like
think
Y,
it's
like
chromosome.
yeah, that's the only thing I can think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In
Okay.
Thai, like, they mostly just call it Y series from what
Yeah.
I have heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me longer than it should have to piece that together because I was like, "What's a Y series?"
Yeah.
And then I
I was
finally
thinking
looked it
like
up.
youth or something, but it's definitely
No,
certainly not youth.
no.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it could be, but not exclusively.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of, like, there's a lot of drama names where it's, like, Generation Y or something like that, like, it'll just have, like, Y in the title, and
Oh, I don't think I
Huh.
ever noticed that either. Um,
yeah. I was thinking too, there's a show called, like, Why Not, I think it's called, but it's just a Y, and I'm like, "Hmm, could be a pun."
oh, I bet it is.
Yeah.
Is that just for Thai dramas that do the Y, or is that like kind of
I
overall BL?
I only see it in Thai dramas, I think, but I
Yeah,
think
'cause
that's
in Japanese, I don't they just call it yaoi?
yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
okay.
And then in Korean, I don't know that I ever see like the Korean like writing on it. I'm always reading English articles.
I think in Korean it might be BL.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
I
I
don't know.
think
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is specific to Thailand, at least as far as I've seen.
The next thing that confused me for the longest time
Oh my god.
is pilot. So when you hear a pilot of a show, that's usually the first episode, right?
Mhm.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, so in Thai it is the trailer.
Oh,
So I'll say it's an extended trailer, because I've seen them go like up to 10 minutes before I think. So it's
oh,
anywhere from like 2 to 10 minutes. And there's no guarantee anything in that trailer is actually going to be in the show because they record it or like they film the pilot before they film the show.
wait, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
How
Yeah.
often does that happen? Like a
every
lot?
show.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It's crazy. They'll announce shows so early, and I was so confused at first too, 'cause they'd be like, "Oh, the pilot's out." And I'd be like, "Oh, first episode," but no, it's the trailer. And I'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, the trailer is full of clips from the show," but no, it's not. It's like filmed
They
before
haven't
the
filmed, yeah.
show. Ah,
I
so
feel like that has to make people really angry. I mean, if there's a scene that they really like in the pilot, they'll obviously hope that it's in the actual show.
I think
I
a
think
lot of the times it is.
yeah, most of it'll make it into the show.
Okay, so it's just like small changes and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, they have to rewrite parts of the script or something like that, and so that'll change some stuff, or if they have to recast somebody or
Oh,
something. Because like the gap between when they announce a show and when a show airs is so long. Because I think one of the big studios, GMMTV, they do like a big announcement every year of all their new shows. So they'll have like this big like on basically where they just go and announce all the shows that they have planned for the next year. Um,
Mhm. And some of them that were announced last November, we still have no idea, like, when it's gonna come out.
yeah, like they haven't even filmed yet.
oh my gosh.
It's
So
crazy.
when they announce those shows for that at that big like con type of a thing, like that's when they will show like the pilot for it. So they'll have filmed a pilot and then there's nothing. So one of the shows that we're really excited about is called The Heart Killers, and that got announced in April, but they filmed the pilot for it last November, and they're
Oh
only
my
just now
gosh.
filming the show right now.
So, are there any instances where they'll film the pilot and then just like scrap the show, or not really?
Um,
I feel like there must be.
yeah, I want to say there has been, but I can't think of one. I'm a little worried about that happening to Supernut show, the one with the harem.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that show too,
Yeah, so
but
there's one show that got announced in April, and it was based off of a novel, and they changed some of the stuff from the novel in a way that really upset fans. to the point that they're rewriting part of the
Oh.
script, but I haven't heard anything about that in so long.
I know. I
So
do know some shows do get like postponed. Because I think there's a show called My Engineer, and I know they like shot half the show, and then they ran out of money, and then like 2 years later they picked the project back up and like reshot some of it and then finished it. And so sometimes I do think projects like, if they're not well funded and stuff, like something like that can
Okay,
happen.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but at least the nice thing with Thai TV productions, they're super relaxed and transparent about the shooting schedule and stuff. Like, this is our next point. Alex can probably explain this a little bit better, but they like tell you like what day of filming they're on and stuff.
What? How does
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
work?
So if you go on like Twitter especially, and you go like all the shows get their own like Twitter accounts, which is, whatever, normal. But they'll go on there and they'll post photos from like filming days. And they'll say it's they call it Q. So it'll be like Q, like the letter Q, and like a number. So it'll be like Q1 or Q like 10 or whatever filming day it is. And that Q stands for the word Q, like QUEUE. And that's like
Oh.
their it's I have it as like a filming day, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're filming. It could be they're doing some sort of workshop type thing for it, like in between. If it's like a day where everybody's like practicing like a fight scene or something like that, that could be a cue as well. And then they can also technically have multiple cues in the same day if it's like different sets happening like at the same time, like with different like groups of actors basically.
Right.
Um, so but it's basically just whatever scene they're working on is a cue. But they post a ton of like behind the scenes photos and stuff like that. Like I think it's to keep the hype for the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because you're waiting for them for so long, so it's.
yeah, and it's to see what's going on in the background. And I think it's also helped a little bit on some things because going back to like the Heart Killers, one of the actors in there, like in the show, he's gonna have like a ton of tattoos. He's a tattoo artist in the show. And one of the tattoos was like they it was there's something with it where fans had like a problem with it. Like it was a legitimate problem, and so they brought it, they went on Twitter and were like, "Hey, maybe don't do this." And so they actually had a chance to like fix that tattoo before it went into like major production. Um
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was like copied or something. Like
yeah.
a different artist made
Oh.
it, and then it was copied. But yeah,
So,
so yeah,
Oh, that's
they listen to fans a lot with like feedback and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
I was gonna say that's like it seems like they really care about the fans' opinion in terms of that because
yes.
like they want you to still be excited about the show even though it takes so long and like they recognize that so they're like here don't worry we're filming we promise.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I gratefully accept the crumbs they give me.
Yes. Um, I guess with that, it's something that I don't know that we have listed anywhere in our outline. Just in general, there's a whole lot more activity between like actors or production crew or like anything and like fans. Like it is
Yeah.
unreal the amount of interaction there is. Um, it's not uncommon to like tweet about an actor, um, and not no hashtags. Don't tag them in the tweet, and they'll still find it and reply to it.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny coming from K-pop where like, idols kind of don't use social media. And
Yeah.
then to like these like they're not really idols, but they're famous actors. They're just like they're oomph.
Yeah.
They really are. It's so scary.
They can be anywhere.
They are. They see everything. My favorite was there was one of them, he was taking screenshots of, like, stuff to fans and sending it to, like, the group chat of, like, his other, like, actor friends, and then they took a screenshot of the chat and then put it in Twitter, and they're like, like, talking about sharing something. We're like, "Wait a second, why are you screenshotting our tweets and talking about it?"
Oh my gosh. That I would not wanna be shared, like, my
No.
my private or not even private, but my public Twitter thoughts are need to stay on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if I tweet about somebody and I don't want them to see that, I have to put it in such code.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Maybe that's why people do the little star, star, star on certain names.
Yeah, right. Play some
Yeah.
Wordle.
Yeah.
But to like relate that back to like the queue and like the way like the shows are interactive. So like some of the like directors are really active on there. Like JoJo is like one of the really big ones, and he's active on there, and he like responds to fans. He was the one I think who caught the tattoo thing and was like,
Mhm.
"We got it. Don't worry about it. We fixed it. It was a oversight from somebody else on the team. No big deal. Fixed it. Not going to be an issue. You guys will be happy." Um, and then like a lot of like the writers or whatever, they like will like live tweet like when shows air or like answer like fan questions and stuff. So like anytime like anything's not clear or whatever, like they're right there. Like they're explaining everything.
How the tattoo thing just has me like a little curious, but how are like tattoos seen for the Thai dramas? Because I know like obviously have to be covered up for like a lot of Korean stuff, and then in Japan it's like you're a member of the mob if you have a tattoo kind of thing. Like is that do they have tattoos shown like in the dramas and things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I think it's a lot more chill there from my
Yeah.
understanding. Like a good amount of the actors have tattoos that are just like,
And they make it
in the
into the show
dramas.
as like yeah, part of the show.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, then some of them will have like horrible fake tattoos where it's like, why do they do that?
Oh
Who was
no.
the guy in Playboy? What tattoo did he have that was so bad? I was like, please tell me this is fake.
Oh, was that the guy that speaks too much English?
Ye-
Like
I
the
think
not
it was his
the
boyfriend.
yeah,
Yeah.
not the twink, but the other one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. That guy. Yeah. What did it say?
I I don't remember, but I remember it being ridiculous. And a lot of people didn't like forts in Love Sea.
Oh my god, hang on, I found it. It's play with me is what it
Oh,
says. This is a bad
Wait, please
screenshot,
send
but
it.
I couldn't
Ew.
find this is like a someone did like a
screenshot?
edit of this so
Oh,
that's the
that's
clearest image.
horrible.
But I was watching it, I was like, please tell me this is fake.
It's like it looks like they took one of the ones that you just like cut off the like out of the paper and then put the water on it to get it off on you, like
Yeah.
the little kid tattoos.
Yeah. Temporary.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good that they seem to be like more, I don't know, open-minded about tattoos and things like that. I feel like that's like a general thing of what I've heard of Thailand in general is that they're
Mhm.
like more liberal, open-minded kind of country, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's my perspective as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think you still have your pockets, especially like of the older generation that has like maybe issue with like the LGBTQ. It's not quite as
Right.
open, but it's more progressive, I think, than some other countries.
Yeah, I
So,
guess in the in like the Asian country space, it's like one of the more open-minded places.
yeah. So, um, some other terminology. One that'll come up a little bit is NC, which means no children, and that usually means there's a spicy scene, like a sex scene.
Oh.
And I was
Yeah.
confused at this at first because for me, I was like, oh, NC is like non-con, like it's non-consensual.
Oh no!
But
Oh
yeah,
my
so
gosh.
I thought that at first because in, fanfics and stuff, if it's tagged like non-con, so I was like, oh, NC. But that just means any sex scene, like it can be completely consensual, whatever. It's just no children.
Yeah, I definitely took it as like NC-17. That's like same thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair. I was just like personally really confused about that one, so I was like, I should probably add it to the list.
yeah.
I
So
that that is such a different meaning. Oh my gosh.
I
That's so
know.
funny. I imagine you seeing that and being like, "Oh my god, this is like horrible," but
I know. I literally saw a Reddit post that was like the first time I saw this phrase, it was like, "Oh, what's the best like NC scene in
oh
BL?" Because
no!
some BLs are, kind of morally gray and stuff.
yeah.
And so I was like reading through it and then it was like bringing up like, "Oh, like this scene in this show, and I was like, what? Like I've seen that show. I wouldn't. I was like really confused, and then I was like, oh, okay, it means something. It means something else.
Yeah.
It just means there's a sex scene.
Yeah.
Which there's especially lately, I feel like there's been a lot of very like NC heavy shows coming out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But
Every
yeah.
time you say, I know you've talked about this before, and I think I mentioned it before, but GMM TV, I'm over here thinking Good Mythical Morning TV in my head, and I'm like, oh wow. Like I didn't know that they made BLs. Like that's great.
Are you kidding me? Good Mythical Morning is all BL.
That's a good point, honestly. Good point.
But no, that's one of the I'd say that's like probably the biggest like BL producer, and all of their shows are just free and available on YouTube, so they're like the most accessible. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's most of like a lot of shows are produced by them.
Yeah. I also think they just have probably the most money because they're owned by GMM Grammy, which is a conglomerate in Thailand. The next terminology that would be relevant is CP, which I took as child porn for the longest time. It freaked me
Yeah.
out.
I still, yeah, sometimes I see it, I'm like, what?
Yeah. But that is not what it means. It's coupling. So it's like a pairing.
Oh,
Um
I think they need to find maybe a different couple of letters for that.
Yeah.
Maybe like CL or something. I don't know.
Yeah, CPL maybe. But yeah. We'll talk
so
a little more about the
yeah,
shipping culture too.
so
Okay.
we'll jump down to that in a little bit. But basically it's whatever the two like leads are is like a CP, right? Um
Okay.
your two guys. That's the very surface level without getting too deep into it right now.
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
so and then for terminology, we also listed out some like Thai words that you hear in dramas a lot. Um to compare to like Korean, it's gonna be like your hung, your nuna, oppa, like stuff like that. Um,
Okay.
because they also use honorifics. And so the first one you hear a lot is P, which is either P apostrophe or PHI. Um, which is an honorific for an older sibling, but it is gender neutral. You can use it for like older brother, older sister, and it's kind of the same way it is in Korean, where it's not necessarily like an actual brother either. Like it could just be like a really close older friend. Um,
Okay.
more
Or a lot
often
of
than
times
not,
it's like people in your department or in your
yeah,
major and stuff who are like
yeah, like a
your
senior.
Okay.
elders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be somebody who's still, I'd say, at least close in age to you, but older, right? So not gonna be like your grandparents or something like that, or
Okay.
like an uncle, nothing like that. But it would be like close-ish in age, which is why I think like something like how they use hung or like Nuna or something like that is similar. Um,
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
I would maybe like Sunbae or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
I
similar to that.
You said the thing
I mean,
about like the college major. I just always hear that in like the college dramas and stuff.
Yeah, it's just more like it's yeah, I would say it's like a mix of like Sunbae and like Hyung and Nuno, but whatever.
yeah, because
Um,
it's like you even if you're dating, you would still use it.
Okay.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's always like P and then their name a lot of the
yeah,
time. So it's not like unlike we're like, oh, you'll just say Oppa a lot of times, but it'll be like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's
you know, P whatever, like their name is. Like P Jojo, or he was like the director. A lot of people
yeah,
call him that, or P
pee
Alf,
off. Yeah,
yeah, he's another director. Like people just like even in English, like will refer to them
yeah.
like,
Just
oh,
saying
hi.
off like sounds so weird to me. It has to be pee off. Um,
Yeah.
It
and
sounds
and
like
so
it's
the reverse of that, so the younger sibling is nong, and it's
okay.
it's the same where you would still use the name, like since you both are like younger than me, it would be like Nong Tristan. Um,
Okay. So always the name included.
yeah. I
P
don't know
Alex.
that oh God,
I'm
please
sorry.
don't. So I would say the name's not 100% of the time included because I do hear it
Yeah.
occasionally where you just hear P or Nong, but most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, those are just ones I hear or we hear like pretty frequently because it's the honorable like speech is pretty important in Thai, I would say.
Okay.
Um, and so to make it a little more confusing, there's another one. It's Hia, and that is specifically for like an older brother type.
Yeah, I
So
don't
Say
it
hear
again?
this one as much.
no, this one's not very common because this is for somebody who is like usually you're a lot closer to them if you hear it. And then I also every time I read about this, it's always somebody who has some sort of like Chinese ancestry because I don't know a whole lot about the
Oh.
Thai history, but it's I guess a lot of them have like Chinese like ancestry from the world doing world things, right? Um, so it's a lot more intimate than using P, which is why you
Okay.
don't hear it nearly as often. Um, what comes to mind for me is the actor C uses this for I think he uses it for Jimmy, but there's some others within the company that I hear him use it with. Um, so like that's the one that
Hmm.
comes to mind. But I don't hear it nearly as much in the show just because it is a lot different. Um, but it has come up of a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
So it's like you have to be really close to that person to use that term.
yeah. So, but it would still be like an older sibling or like an older
Older,
person.
like okay.
So it's the same as P, but just closer. Um, but not to so that's Hia, right? And then we have I, which is for like a close friend who's like the same age as you.
Okay.
And so it's also used the same where it would be like I Tristyn or like I Shy, something like that.
Okay. So with the name after.
Yeah, it's always with the name. Um, and then there's Kun is the last one. And that's gonna be like Mr. or I see it translated a lot of times as like master if it's like an older like setting. Like the 1920s or something like that. For
Oh,
some reason, it
okay.
seems to
Hmm.
be a popular decade.
So kind of like very respectful
Yeah.
one.
Hmm.
Okay.
You're like boss or something like that.
Okay.
hmm I've seen that one interestingly, where it's. I would think it would be somewhere where you would use P, but I guess it's more formal because you're not that close. So I
Hmm.
don't know that there's really like an age thing on that one either. Like it could be somebody like the same age as you, but if there's like a respect difference, like a doctor
Hmm.
or something like that, I see them use kun a lot. Um, like there's one where the guy was like the servant to somebody else who's like a year younger than him and he still has to say kun.
Hmm.
So that was just some of the terminology that I hear a lot in the shows that you catch on pretty quick, but
Yeah. It'll be helpful though, especially like going into things.
yeah.
And then we also added in just Thai names and nicknames in general. Um, I mean, this has nothing to do with BL, but if you're watching any sort of Thai series, it's
Mhm.
useful. Um, so Thai people have their full names. A lot of times they're, comparatively to like what we're used to, they're pretty long. And so so Thai people are normally referred to by their nickname. So all of them have like a nickname that, their parents give them when they're born. And I love the nicknames so much. They literally could be anything. Um, I know like I've heard that a lot of times like, pregnant Thai women will crave shrimp. And so there's tons of like Thai people out there named whatever the Thai word for shrimp is.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, or like, sometimes maybe like your parents will like Winnie the Pooh, so your name will be Pooh or something like that. So a lot of times it will be just like an English word. Or it could be like pretty much anything. Like
Yeah.
10 from NCT, like his nickname is 10. I don't know
Right.
why, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Bam 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 is literally nicknamed after the character from the Flintstones. Um
Well, you were saying about Winnie the Pooh. I think there's a member of the one K-pop group Nine Eye who I think he left
Oh,
it good now.
Winnie. Winnie,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
his name was actually Winnie.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that is how it came from now that I'm, like, learning about this.
Probably. I know, King from Ghost 9, another K-pop person, but I think he made a video too where he was like, "Oh yeah, my brother's name is Pooh because my parents like Winnie the Pooh," and
Oh my
he explained
gosh.
why his name was King. I don't remember why, but
His name is
um,
Prince.
oh Prince, not yeah, sorry, not King, Prince. My bad.
You gave him
I
a
l
little bit more respect there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Prince. Prince is great.
yeah, he's so
Um,
wonderful. But yeah,
yeah.
literally, like, it's so fun. It could be like anything.
My
So
favorite are twin names. And, like, it
yes.
doesn't even have to actually be twins, like, there could be years apart in the kids, and they'll still, like, do, like a theme. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Like
black
there's
and white are really common.
yeah, night and
What?
day.
Wait,
Yeah,
so there are people that are just named Black and just
that's
named White?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a character in a show I'm watching right now, his name is God.
God! Okay.
Mhm.
What's
Like,
going on?
literally anything goes.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very free.
when people introduce themselves too, unless it's something like if you're, like, talking to the police for some reason, like, they'll
Oh,
just introduce themselves with their nickname anyway, even if they don't know you. Like, it's not like, you have to, like, earn to use, like, their nickname, they're just that's what they're gonna introduce themselves as.
okay.
Um, I think the only time I really see, like, the full name is when it's something, like, with the police, to be honest,
Mm,
where it's you need your legal name for something, or if it's, like, a hospital scene or something like that, you'll see, like, the full name sometimes.
yeah.
Um, but they really I don't think it's super common to use those names. So I think it was Bam Bam that did an interview where he was like, "I don't even know my siblings' real names, like, their legal names."
Oh my god.
Well, they are fairly long, um,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point.
and then if you literally only grew up calling them by their nickname, um
So, it'll be like it's the word it's like these words in English or, like, in like,
oh,
translated
no,
in
they're in
Thai?
English.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
inter
some of them are in Thai, but some of
yeah,
them are in English.
but they're pronounced the Thai way.
Oh, okay.
So like, First comes to mind. First is a pretty common name, um, but it's pronounced closer to something like Fert, something along that line. So you don't really hear the S sound, but they spell it like first.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So it's just like, oh, this is very interesting. I feel like I'm given, like, the Duolingo, like, preview to understanding. I did I
Mm,
know that I've seen before that, like, it's, like, disrespectful to call someone by their full Thai name. Is that true, or is that just
I think it'd be like weird if you did.
yeah,
Like, because
okay?
your nickname is your name
yeah,
for all social purposes, and your legal name is like your legal name for, you know,
Okay.
documents or whatever.
yeah. I
It
don't
I feel like yeah, I mean, there's not really an equivalent, but, like, imagine if, like, when I was talking to you, I called you by, like, your first, middle, and last name every time, like, it would be, like it'd be
Okay.
super weird, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was, like, offensive to do that for some reason, but I don't
Yeah.
know enough about Thai culture to say one way or the
Yeah, I
other.
feel like we should do a disclaimer that we are not experts on Thai culture at all.
No.
These are just kind of the things that, like, we learned while watching Thai dramas that, like, we think that other people, should know about too, so
Yeah, this is, like, the baseline of just being able to, like, understand, like, a Thai BL.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is not deep, in depth to Thai culture, but
No.
from
'Cause those are
our perspective, it would be super weird to call someone by their full name.
yeah.
Unless there has been a couple dramas, like in Sodus, he goes by his real name. But even in the show, they talk about it a couple times. They're like, oh, why don't you go by your nickname, whatever. So maybe
Yeah.
some people
Oh,
would
okay.
choose to go by their name as well. But
He does have a shorter name, though.
yeah, he does.
Jung is kinda like that too sometimes because his real name is Archon,
Yeah.
and I see that come up pretty frequently actually. Um, but again, it's another shorter name.
Mhm.
So I don't know if there's meaning behind the names being shorter either. Um,
Yeah.
so a little bit of Thai culture that I think is outside of our direct element, I would
Outside of
Yeah.
imagine.
your knowledge range for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, from just watching these shows.
Yeah. There's like TikToks and stuff from other people that I follow. There's one of the actresses, oh, I don't remember what show she was in, but she's fluent in English too, and she actually does like TikToks where she like explains some of the Thai culture stuff.
Mhm.
One of the things I thought was really cool was so in Thai, the way they like end a word, like the formal way, um, is based on gender. So
Mhm.
like Suwadi Ka and Suwadi Krup, it both are like hello, right? Or is it thank you?
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
I had to think. But the one is like for girls and one is for guys. Um, so it's the ending is always the same if you're a girl. So it's not who you're talking to, it's who you are. That does that. And which one I think is really cool so you don't have to think about it because you're just going to learn one way. But
Mhm.
what they do is like with kids, the parents will use even like like if it's a boy, the mom will still use like the male ending to teach the kid that one.
Yeah.
So I think it's like Krupp is the guy ending.
Male. Yeah.
Yeah. So she would still use that ending when she's talking to him to teach him that one, even though that's technically not the correct way for her. Um,
Mhm. That is
so
interesting.
yeah, I thought that was really cool. But I can't remember what show she was in. She hasn't shown up on my TikTok in a while, but she was doing a lot of stuff. So I was trying to pick up some language stuff from her, and she would talk about like the culture and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do remember there's like a plot point in one drama called Bad Buddy where like one person receives a note and they're like, "Oh, like I thought a girl wrote it, but like it's using like the male endings." But then they were like, "Oh, well maybe they're just doing it to like she's just doing it to throw us off or whatever, you know."
Mm,
So sometimes it does kind of come up like
yeah.
how like language is slightly gendered.
But I guess from that to really get into shipping culture now and couples.
This gets so crazy, Tristan. I
Oh God.
it's like even I didn't quite fully understand it for so long. Like, it's an industry.
Yeah. Um,
All right, I'm
so
seated. I'm seated. I'm ready.
Good.
so not every couple is this way, but a lot of couples will become official couples. And that is not to say that they're officially dating. That is that
Oh,
they're under the same company. So when a show happens, majority of the times it's under the everybody's under the same company. So it's like that GMM that we keep talking about. It'll be a GMM actor will be like the whole like or all the actors in the show will be from GMM and they're the ones producing it. So it's like they're writers, directors, everything's under there. So like the male leads, the two male leads will be like the couple for that show, but they could also be like an official couple. Um More often than not, I would say, at least from GMM. And that also means that that same pairing will stay for the next shows too. So they'll do more than one show as a couple. So
my
you'll have the
God.
same lead.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
This
you
It's
have
is
it's so
very
hard to
different.
explain.
yeah. So it would be like watching a K drama and then it's like whoever like the two like the male and the female lead whatever are like I don't know like Susie and Lee Jung Suk or whatever just do like 50 shows together or not 50 but like 5 or 6 shows together all of a sudden.
But like it's all different characters.
Yeah, it's a different
Yes.
it's a different show every single time. It's just they're an official couple, so they're the same ones always doing like they're always going to be paired together.
But that doesn't mean that they're actually dating.
No.
No. They're just this is like a coworker thing.
Yeah.
Like people like them together. They like their chemistry in a show, and so if it becomes popular, then the company sometimes will make them like an official couple, and that means that they are like officially paired together, and usually then in other shows they will be paired with one another and they won't have any romantic relationships with anyone else.
In the dramas or in real life for that?
In uh What?
Officially both.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's a very interesting thing, the fan
Yeah.
service and stuff.
So
I would assume that that once they become like the official couple, I would assume that would like that whole process they would become really close at that point. I'm sure like working together
Mhm.
constantly.
yes.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not just doing like just the TV shows. They're not just doing the dramas. They promote PR events together. They do fan cons together. Like it's a lot. It's very rare. Like well, not very rare because I just saw a spreadsheet, but they're more likely to go do like an event together than they are separate, and definitely more likely to do event together than like as with other actors, unless it's like a double date type of a thing, you know. Um,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
um,
I
and so
think the main thing is like for like BL and stuff, or especially Thai BL, people care less about the actors and more about the couples.
yeah.
If that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah,
So like
the go ahead.
hmm. So they care less about the actors like individually or and they care more about like the
Shipping the
duo?
couple, yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh
I
wow.
would agree
Okay.
with that because I like you'll see every once in a while like thinking of like maybe Tay and New that they'll do
Mhm.
like straight shows separately. Like you'll
Mhm.
see some of that. Um
And they're
but
an
you would
older
yeah.
they've been in the industry for a while, so they have more like privileges like that.
Yeah,
Oh
like a
wow.
newer
Okay.
couple wouldn't be like doing any other shows really that they're not in together. Even when if they're like a secondary couple or like a side couple or something like that, they're still gonna it's that pairing is gonna be together. You're not gonna see that pairing split. If they're once they're official, that's it.
Because
Um
the fans will riot if you break up the couple.
yeah.
Oh my
Um
gosh.
so and like the couples, like that's where fandom names come in. So there's like fandom names for like shipping the pairing.
Oh my gosh. So there's a shipping name and a fandom name for the ship?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
It's too
my
much.
gosh. There's so many
So
layers.
Yeah.
So, like, the shipping name is just their names, right? So, like, Tainu that we just talked about, one of my favorites is, First Cow Tongue. Um, so it'll be like that. It's just their names. But, like, you'll have that, but then you'll have, like, the fandom name. So, like, First Cow Tongue's fandom is, like, Som Soms, which is, like, the word som is orange. Um,
Oh,
so you'll
okay.
have that. My favorite fandom name, though, is Up Pooms. There's this Tube Tub. And
Okay.
the
Does
closest
that mean something?
yes, the closest translation we have to that would be cute aggression.
Oh my gosh.
And it is so accurate because I have so much cute aggression for them.
Yeah.
Are they both like kind of more like cutesy guys or
No.
No.
oh,
No. I just I just love them so much it causes cute aggression. Um, I
I
will say
see.
Poom
Okay.
Poom for some reason wears headbands all the time, and I'm not talking about like a Blair Waldorf like type of a Gossip Girl headband. I'm talking about like when you go to take your makeup off type of a headband.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
just walks around.
Mm.
He's got so many too. I swear he's got 100 because he's always in a different one. Um, and like like he goes grocery shopping with the
What
stupid
is
thing
this
on.
person's name?
Poom,
Poom. Poom.
I love him.
Yeah. He's great. Maybe that's where the name comes from. I'm not sure how they decided on it, but yeah, it's sometimes I do get confused because I'm like, okay, I know the ship name because it's literally like the two people, but then it's like they mention the fandom name and I've gotta check like like an Excel spreadsheet. Like, who is this again?
Yeah, I'm still confused about Fort Pete because on top of that, the individual actors do also sometimes have fandom names.
Yeah.
So from Up Poom with the tube tubs, Up also has the fandom name of mayonnaise.
Uh okay. I don't know about that one. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
He's obsessed with mayonnaise. He has an Instagram that's dedicated to mayonnaise. So
Where is the
it makes
Hellman
sense for him.
sponsorship?
Yeah, right. And then with that, I guess when it comes to their like ship name, I'm honestly so not a fan of this, but the name order matters. So for
Okay.
example, I guess we were just talking about Up and Poom. Whoever is first is like considered the top. So it's
Oh,
Up Poom,
okay.
not Poom Up. Which
Yeah.
like I don't know, whatever. That's just like not really how gay relationships work in real life, which is like kind of I don't know. But that is so just so you know it does the ship name order like does matter, I guess.
Yeah. I would say as far as actually being top and bottom though, like we don't know from these and
Yeah.
then like the, who knows if they're even gay, right? Um in
Yeah.
the dramas
In the
though,
dramas,
yeah,
yeah.
it definitely will tell you who is what. Um
Oh my.
Yeah.
so,
And even like the problem I do kind of have with it, it's because it's supposed to be like, from the drama, but like sometimes some dramas are ambiguous and like you don't know, but then people will always default to putting the more like quote unquote masculine person first. And
yeah.
it's just kind
Oh,
of like,
yeah.
it
It
just kind
kind
of reinforces some,
it feels icky.
stereotypes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to put it out there, like there is a reason for that. So,
Yeah. And
Oh,
I think it does really come from like the first show that they're in together. Cause
yeah.
thinking of Pooh and Pavel,
Oh, yeah,
um,
yeah.
cause Pavel, based on the stereotype and the trend, should be first, to be
Mhm.
honest. Um, but in the show, it what their characters were Pooh's character was I don't remember his name now. It,
Charlie.
Charlie. Yeah, it was Charlie and Babe, so it was Charlie Babe is how that would have worked, which made it Pooh Pavel. He likes to argue the other way around a lot. It's become kind of a running joke that it is Pavel Pooh, but nobody lets him live it down, so it's now Pooh Pavel.
Yeah, there are a few shows that will like pull a little Uno reverse. And I do
Yeah.
think that's fun because I do like challenging like these,
the stereotypes and everything.
the
Mhm.
stereotypes and these like conceptions that people have with gay men, I think that aren't necessarily always reflected on like real life, but
Right.
yeah, but that's just I mean, they're fictional shows, so they can do whatever.
Yeah. So just a small thing, but yeah, you'll see naming order matters. You won't ever see it like flipped. Like first Kaotong will never be Kaotong first. It also just at this
Far as
point
we
doesn't
know.
roll. Yeah. I mean, in a
Yeah,
show, I would be so here for it. I'm not
I'd
gonna
be here for
lie.
it.
Um,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so that is the ship name
Mhm.
for
the ship name is just their names. It's never
so
gonna be anything crazy. It's always their names. Just
that's the ship name for the Only Friends
Yeah.
show.
yes. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's one of the couples in there.
for the
So
the longest time I thought that first cow tongue that's the name.
yes.
Y
It's two
I
yeah.
names. It's first and Kaotong.
I thought that that was a show name the longest time.
No,
I love the show First Cow Tongue.
I was I
they
don't know,
need a
I think
show.
That's fair, honestly.
I feel like that like you always talked about that and I was just thinking like, okay, yeah, that show like First Cow Tongue. And now I'm like, wait, that's not the right thing.
No, I'm just obsessed with two men. Um,
Yeah. That's so funny.
um, other things with though they have light sticks like we do in K-pop, but they're for like the couples.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're
Yes.
kidding.
No, I'm
Not
not kidding.
kidding.
It's great. There's so much merch and stuff, but the light sticks are my favorite because they do concerts together. Um, so they'll do fan
Concert
meets and concerts and stuff. A lot of these actors also sing, whether or not they should. Um,
Okay, I was gonna say, like, does everyone sing or something?
yes, unfortunately.
They do all sing. That is true. Like Alex said, should they? That's a different question.
Not all of them.
Oh no.
Um,
But it's like fun. That's kind of a running joke in a lot of these shows too, is a lot of them like someone will whip out a guitar and like in every one. So I think it's just like a Thai culture thing. It's just very musical, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But like GMMTV does like a big fan concert called like Laugh Out Loud. I think it's the same name every year. So they did that, and it was very clear that like some of the ones that don't sing often were just there to have fun. Like some of the songs they were doing were ridiculous in like the best way. It was so funny. I think they just announced actually the next like the fall fan con. Um, but fan con, it's really just like a 2 day long concert, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
so but yeah, you'll have the light sticks and stuff like that.
Do you
All
have
kinds of
any pictures of the light sticks? I'm
yeah.
curious to see what they look like.
I can pull them up.
Like I'm thinking, like is it detailed? Are we it getting like just like the white globe kind of
Here's a
thing?
link to the GMMTV Lightstick website. So this has a bunch of, so you'll see
Okay.
it'll be like Chris Singto, Earth Mix, Pan Puin, Om Nadan,
Oh my
Force Book.
gosh.
These are all couples.
So the very first one is LYKN Lycan. That is actually a band. Um, that's a boy group.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the only
okay.
one that's not a
Yeah.
couple. I guess some of them, once you scroll down a bit,
Yeah,
some of
there's
them
some.
are just for one person.
I
Oh my
love
gosh.
off guns. It's
I
a
was
it's like a
gonna
baby bottle.
say it's a baby. That's really creative.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is. They're the oldest running like BL couple, so
In like the
they're
whole industry, right? Not just
yeah,
GMM, the whole industry,
the
yeah.
whole industry, yeah.
So,
Well,
they're
I guess I don't know. Now that Chris and Cinco
well,
are back,
yeah, now that
but
they're back,
in terms of like they've done the most amount of shows together, the longest.
yeah.
So
So, and they're one of those couples too, we're fairly confident they're not dating because I'm pretty sure Off is straight. Um,
yeah,
but like Office said that he would only do shows with Gun. So you see that sometimes where like pairings are like it's this or nothing for me. Which I think is partially just a comfort level. And then I think after like Off and Gun have been together for so long, I think it would just be weird for Off to
yeah.
um
But
so you
some
see
couples do break up, and
yeah.
it's
Oh
rough.
god.
Though when
the
ships sink, oh
Yeah, especially suddenly, like specifically like Om and Nanan, they were a very popular couple. They had a really fantastic show together, but the two seem to not get along in real life. So the
Oh, I
like
was gonna ask that. Like,
yeah, we don't know what happened, but they did kind of have like a public argument, like a fight or something. Like we don't know what it's about. So that one is like sunk and fans will not let it go. Like to this it's been years, so many years, and they still are harassing these actors about it. And it's like, "Oh my God, move on." Like and because to them it was real, you know?
are they mad at them for like breaking up the couple, or like are they harassing them to like get back together, kind of thing? Like, are they like, man, you're like a piece of crap or something?
So I did some outreach and I asked one of these people once why they were mad about this.
Oh my gosh.
oh,
Okay, on the
okay.
ground reporting.
I know. I'm a reporter, you guys. But because okay, so this was they someone posted a picture of like you know how people go outside like K-pop buildings with those big light up signs and they're like
Oh, like
have Everglow a comeback or something like
the
that.
trucks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
trucks. Someone posted a picture of like a truck like that. I don't know if it's real, to be honest. I could be photoshopped, um but someone posted a picture of that where it says like Om Nanan hurt fans and deceived them. Apologize to the Green Red, which is their fandom name. And I responded, I said, I'm so confused. What do they want them to apologize for? Like for not dating in real life? And then the person responded and they said, for breaking up the CP, so the couple. These are fans who spend tons of money on merch and events to support them. Now it's all meaningless. Which is ridiculous, and I was so mad I didn't
What?
respond to them. It makes no
Sounds like
fucking
every K-pop dating
sense.
scandal.
Dude, yeah, it's like, okay, if I just because I love a band and I support a band and they break up eventually doesn't mean that all my
All of
experiences
it
at
is
their concerts and
worthless.
I gotta burn my shirts and shit, like
Yeah, what? That is
anyway,
bizarre.
but that is their mindset. Like, it's
Everything is
so
meaningless.
it means no sense to me, but from my, in-depth journalism,
I love it.
Yeah.
that's what Twitter user, not gonna say their name, but her her nickname has Kiki in it, so that's what Twitter user Kiki said.
Yeah, because like so the show they were in came out in 2021, for Om Nanon, and it wasn't that much longer after that that they split, right? Because
Yeah, they were in that, they were in Vice Versa a little bit together, and that was all they did.
yeah, and
Oh my gosh.
and
Sorry. I just Googled, like, I just typed in their name.
Mhm.
Um, and like the first couple options are relationship, drama, breakup. Like,
Yeah. Like, maybe they did date and actually broke up, and that's why they don't get along anymore. Who knows? But regardless, like, they're both doing shows separately, and it's just like I wish fans would respect that. Like, the show
yeah.
they were in is one of my all-time favorite BLs. I think it's fabulous, but I'm not gonna like harass them in real life about it.
no, and so this year they have both separately and like months apart had like fan meets. And what has happened at both of them now is during the group photo, the fans will hold up like a picket with the other person's face on them and hide their own face behind it. And that's how they do the group photo.
Ooh, uh,
And like the
the
company, GMMTV,
what?
had to put out a thing, like a whole statement, and they were like, please respect them. Like,
Yeah,
don't
like
be
My
fucking weirdo,
God.
essentially.
Can you I'm sorry. That is crazy. I'm just like picturing, like, imagine you did this whole drama with this coworker, and then like maybe you did actually date them, and then you broke up, and then the fans, the people that are supposed to be there for you, are coming and holding a picket thing of your ex. Like, what?
I
yes.
know.
And they
And
did that to both of them.
yeah, and I just like, I was gonna respond to this person. I never did because I was just too flabbergasted about how stupid this was. But I was gonna be like, well, if they don't get along in real life, like, why should why should we force them to be together? Like, as fans, shouldn't we respect their happiness? And,
No.
like,
Yeah,
but
they're gonna be
apparently not
miserable
because,
being together.
but
Like,
that's what I
what?
mean by like they are fans of the ships, but sometimes not the
Not the
people. Like they
people.
don't like,
Mhm.
yeah, they don't like support the individual artists. Like the ship is everything, sometimes.
So it's kind of
But
like they like the characters like more than the people in a
yeah,
way.
because they don't know the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But that's
the
very like cynical. That's like a kind of crazier fan behavior.
Yeah.
Like most people are like chill, but
Most people are
yeah.
normal. I feel like
Yeah.
if I keep
yeah.
thinking of like just like K-pop culture and stuff, and I'm like, those are like the stalker people kind of thing.
Yeah.
The majority
Yeah.
of are normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because we had another breakup at the beginning of this year. It was Net James that broke up. And honestly, I was so proud of the fandom for the longest time because I didn't hear anything bad about it. Because James was the one who wanted to split. There was no bad blood between them. He just decided he didn't want to do BL anymore. He wanted to go pursue music instead. And so they were like, okay, it is what it is. It was really annoying because they'd already been cast for their next show. And so they
Mhm.
had like the show has been postponed because they had to find a new partner. It's kind of cool for like the established artists at that point, so like the actors. So Net got to handpick his new partner. Like he's in another official couple now. It's Net JJ now. Um, and he got to handpick out JJ himself. And so you see that sometimes. Like Mark from GMM TV got to pick out his partner too. Um, because he's been like not in an official couple, but has made out with like half of the actors in
Oh
GMM.
my god.
Um,
Mark is my favorite actor, so
He's great. But so Net got to handpick out JJ and they did this whole thing and whatever. And JJ's kind of new to the scene completely. I don't know that he's been in anything yet. So he's kind of new blood and we're all like, okay, trust the process, like we don't know anything. We just know there's a JJ now. Um
Mhm.
and recently the Net James fans have come for JJ. And like I've
No.
been like, "Oh, it's cool that, everyone was really understanding because like James came out pretty publicly on like what's going on and like legit there's no bad blood or anything." And now all of a sudden it's like all the Net James fans have like come alive for some reason to the point where like JJ and Net have both like talked about it on like Twitter, like Net's like, "I handpicked him. You guys need to back off," type of a thing.
Like, at least let the show come out, you
Yeah.
know?
'Cause that's
So,
the thing, we haven't even gotten a show yet. So, like,
yeah.
we've gotten, like, fan concerts, like, they've been doing stuff to, like, slowly kinda promote the ship, um, but not anything, like, major.
Yeah, it's crazy
Mm.
out here.
Yeah. Um, the other side of that, the fan service is, like, insane, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot where I'm like, if they're not dating, the fan service is unreal. Um, like, the way they're, like,
Oh
clingy with each
gosh.
other and, like, they're not, like, making out in public or anything like that, right? But they're always together doing stuff or like you'll see signs of them like huddled up in bed or something like not
Mhm.
like having sex or anything but like cuddled up. Like I saw a clip of Doe and Off-Road, and like Off-Road I think was sick, and he was just like it was like him in bed and else doing something, and you could just see like the top of like Doe's hair sticking out of the blanket. And
Yeah. 'Cause it's
Anytime
like
you
a your responsibility is you to, like, keep your ship alive in a way.
yeah, it's you're convincing everyone you're together, whether or not you
Oh,
are, type of a
okay.
thing,
Mhm.
you know? Not it's not that they're, like, coming out going, "Yeah, we're dating," right? Like, it's not that clear, but it's definitely like, "Yeah, ship us." That's what you're doing. Um, there's a little bit of a clinginess that you see from a lot of them. If one of them starts to give somebody else attention of any sort, somebody might get a little mad. Um,
And
playfully, right?
I feel
Yeah,
like kind of, like, not nearly to this extent, but in K-pop sometimes you will see, like, a little bit of fan service too, like, in a dance or something, like,
Yeah.
you'll like, oh, what's that one Vix song where they're, like, Shangri-La, I think, where they have the, take their heads and they, like, put them on each other's, like, necks and stuff, like, little things like that. It's just, like, amplified
it's
on
that all the
the
time.
yeah, all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah,
But
fan service is less, like, trying to make the fans wanna date you and more making them believe that you're dating
That
your
it's real.
co-star. Yeah.
yeah, because 'cause I'll say for the most part, I'm like, I have no interest in dating any of these men, whether they're straight
Mhm.
or whatever. I'm so here to support their relationships in these ships. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of those if the ship sinks, whatever, and I'm like, that's fine. There's reasons for it, whatever. Like with Net James, I was a big Net James fan. Um,
I'm
I
sorry,
had
every
friend
time you say that, I'm just picturing some, like, basketball person. Net James, that just sounds like some kind of, like
LeBron Net James.
yeah, I'm just like, "Net James, he's shooting a three-pointer." I'm sorry. It's just
No,
making
this
me
is why
laugh.
we need you here. This is perfect.
Like, every, like, ship and everything that you comment or you say, I'm, like, searching for them, like, see, like, if I can find, like, a light stick for them, like, I and, like, see if I can match them up with everything, like, it's just making me laugh, I'm sorry.
This is why you're here.
yeah. So, but like being a big fan of Net James, like, and then they broke up, and like, even if they didn't tell us why they broke up, and they were just like, our ship's done, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm sad about it, but it's fine. Um,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like that's, like
the normal response, the
yeah,
appropriate response.
like, I feel like that's understandable, like, it's kinda like if just I don't know, if coworkers or something that like commonly work together are just like, oh, like we had a falling out or something. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh man, that sucks. Like I won't see you in anything together, but like you don't I'm not gonna force you to work with someone that you don't want to work with kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then like Net James didn't end on like bad terms the way Om Nanan did, right? So like
Hmm.
you still see Net and James interact. Like not
Yeah.
all the time, but they're still under the same company.
They're still like friendly with each other and stuff.
Yeah. So it's fine.
Mhm.
Are those fans a little bit more, like, understanding, or is it like,
So I thought they were,
"Oh,
right? In the
no"?
beginning they were, but that's where they've started coming for JJ, and Net had to go on Twitter and tell him back off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because JJ, I think, is on the younger side too. I don't remember off the top of my head. Like, he's of age, but younger and
Wait,
then new to,
that's another topic.
yeah.
Oh, no,
Age
okay.
is sometimes an issue.
Yeah.
Oof.
I didn't put it on here, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are some shows where it's just like the casting is like so fucked up. I'm like, I'm just
Oh,
like, this person's
okay.
literally a minor. Like, why'd you cast
Oh,
them for this?
Yeah.
no.
So Ned is 27 and JJ's 24, so that's fine. JJ just
Oh,
looks
yeah.
younger than 24. He looks like he's 20. Um,
Yeah. It's like that one Pit Babe couple all over again where both of them were
oh,
like 30, but one of them looked like he was like 18. So I
yeah.
was like really concerned, but I was like, oh no, they're the same age.
But then you have like Jeff and Barcode.
Scanning. Is there a light stick?
For who?
Jeff and Barcode?
So they weren't official. Jeff has his own light
Oh, I
stick.
see. This is just for official
Yes,
shit.
this is only for
Yeah,
official.
yeah. They get the
So
official merch for
so
that.
I
Jeff and
see.
Jeff and Barcode are kind of interesting because they were never like official in the same way someone like First Cow Tongue is or Om Nanon was, and not like that, but they have done multiple shows together. Um, and the first one would have been Kin Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one was Kin Porsche, and I think Barcode was still a minor, and
Yeah.
Jeff at the time would have
Ooh.
been in his late 20s. So in that
Ooh.
in that they had no inappropriate scenes. I will say that I
Yeah,
can
and that
remember.
show, because I was watching it and I was like, why aren't like I was like, oh, I thought they were gonna start dating. Like, why aren't they dating? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's because one's literally a minor. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
So
why they didn't cast an adult. Then they could have like had a relationship, but whatever.
uh
I digress.
I think
There's a
the
lot of problems with Kin Porsche. As much as I like the show,
yeah.
there's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So whenever you say that they, like, become official, you may have already mentioned this, but I'm gonna ask again.
Yep.
Like, the company will say that? Like, will announce that kind of thing? Like, how do they go from just, like, a ship to, like, an official one?
I think it depends, I would say. Because some
Okay.
of them start official.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Like Pooh and Pavel just outright were official. Um,
Yeah, sometimes I feel like it'll be kind of announced, like,
I
I
think
don't know.
generally if you're gonna lead in a show, you're official. So a lot of these pairings will also like maybe not like the ones that aren't start out official, I would say are gonna be side characters more likely. That's why like
Okay.
Mark has like made out with everybody because he's always been a side character.
Yeah.
So he's never had an official pairing. So he's actually just gotten his first lead role um where he plays a dentist. Um and
Okay.
he got to pick who he wanted to be his official pairing now that he's a lead. Um
Now, is that from, like, any actor that, like, at
Under
that
their company.
audition? Okay, under the company, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure if it was somebody not under the company that he really wanted, because it's Mark, he probably could have gotten them into the company. Because Mark's been with GMM for a while now, I think.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's done a lot
Every
of
show you'll
yeah,
watch, Mark will be there.
yeah,
And
Mark's
I love Mark so much.
Why is
he's
it that there's always a Mark that's everywhere?
I know, right?
Drake is also everywhere though, so we have Mark and
That's
Drake.
true. Drake is also, yeah, true that.
I would say Drake's probably in more than Mark is, to be honest.
I'd
Um,
agree.
but Drake doesn't always play like a gay character. He's just a side character hanging out.
Yeah. Last show
Uh,
I watched, he was asexual. I was like, wow, this is
yeah.
exciting.
Um, I loved him in that. He did such a good job.
Yeah.
I love Drake. But yeah, but Mark, I think because like I don't think you always get to pick outright. I think some of it is just like a compatibility
Casting.
testing with that, yeah. Cause but since Mark has been there so long, he picked, but then I think they still did like compatibility stuff, but I think he picked perfect. Cause the show hasn't come out yet, but everyone says that their chemistry is just amazing. And also who he picked, I can't remember who it is. Is
He
it
was the
one of
one
the
in.
Ohms?
It's one of the ohms, yeah.
Yeah.
So, do these dramas have the same kind of like length and things as the Korean ones, or like I don't know, I'm thinking of like the typical just like 12 or 16 episode K-drama with like an hour episode each.
Yeah. So actually, well, I guess we can go into.
Yeah,
You
we can
sent
go to
us some
questions.
questions that
I
ahead of
did,
times of
yes.
like things you want to know. We can go into those because the first one I had listed similarly to what you asked was like, okay, K dramas tend to follow a lot of similar plot devices and tropes. Do like Thai BL follow anything similar? Um,
Yes.
for length, very, very typically, most shows, especially from GMMTV, will be 45-minute episodes, 12 episodes.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
formula.
Yeah. There's some exceptions. They're working on one show right now that's going to be 30 episodes, but it's every 10 is a new couple.
What? Okay. What's
Yeah.
going on there?
I
So,
know. I don't know what's going on with that one, I'll be
no,
honest.
none of us know. They're filming it right now though, so we'll find out eventually. Um,
Yeah,
but that
eventually.
but that's definitely the outlier. Generally it is 12 episodes.
Yeah,
Um,
and because of that, there is a so well, first of all, I guess we made like a bingo card of just like
Oh no.
Thai BL cliches. And one of them we called the 11th episode curse. And that's because most shows are 12 episodes. On the 11th episode, something like terrible will happen for like, dramatic effect.
right.
Oh,
They're
okay.
they're gonna break up or somebody's gonna move away or something. Just you
Yeah.
see that in K dramas too. It's always the
Yeah.
11th episode.
Someone gets hit by a car.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always
Oh
something.
no.
The last big drama.
Yeah. So for just I guess to go through the bingo card to just this will give you a good idea of all the cliches. We have the first one, someone almost drowns.
Okay. Why is that so specific?
You would be
A
shocked.
lot.
Shocked at the number of shows that happen
Is it
then.
kind of because they have to do like mouth to mouth, like CPR kind of thing? Or is it just like
No.
Mm,
no,
ish.
they
No,
just
they
okay.
Well, that's because another one on this list is beach trip. And so usually during the beach trip someone will almost drown.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. We also have riding a scooter, because scooters are very popular in Thailand. We have a weird t-shirt, which is usually like a graphic design t-shirt in English that's like weird. Like there's one in Last Twilight where the guy wears one that says fart proudly. And the whole
Is he
freaking
wrong though?
he's not wrong. But the whole
He's not wrong.
episode I'm just like I'm so distracted by his damn fart proudly shirt.
Yeah,
He's trying to do
that
like
would be very distracting.
serious things and I'm like no. Of course we have the good old met during childhood. That one is in K-dramas as well.
A
Mm.
classic.
Mhm.
Then we have obnoxious sound effects.
Oh, what?
Just
For whatever reason, they like to add sound effects to everything.
Are we
yeah, this
talking
is
like the bonk, like crazy stuff, or like
bonk. A lot of times, sometimes it'll be like meows. Like
oh,
I don't know. It depends on the show. It a lot of the like more comedy sided shows, I would say, do this
Yeah.
more.
okay.
There's also trauma related nightmares.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's way more than you would think.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like watch a show and like look at the bingo card and I'll be like, oh yeah, I do have to check that off.
I would say that might happen after the beach trip almost drown experience.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's usually like a childhood thing that has triggered it.
Mhm.
Maybe that's when the other person shows up in their childhood meeting.
Yeah.
I can think of one show that it is a almost drowning that causes the nightmares, but it's also from a childhood almost drowning.
Oh my gosh, it's like everything in one.
Wait, what show is that?
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine.
It's one you haven't seen.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
One you haven't seen that I've been asking you to watch.
Yeah, I know which one. I think.
Then
Um,
we
yeah, go
have
ahead.
the accidental kiss.
Of
Pretty
course.
self-explanatory. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. We have the random ass shower scene just for, to look at some naked man.
Might be my favorite because it is so just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think those scenes are honestly hilarious and like because half the time they're not even like washing their hair or doing anything. They're just like standing there. They're
We get a
just
full like pan down the
yeah.
shoulders and back and
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Where do you see ass if it's, love sea?
Yeah, true. Oh my god.
That was wild.
That was so crazy. I was and there's a show called Love Sea and a shower scene, whatever, and then it's just like full ass, and I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was shook a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite actors too, so I was not expecting to see his ass. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I can see why that would be shocking if it just out of nowhere.
Mm.
Um, then we have your typical wrist grab. Uh,
Yep.
Amazing. Love that. Love those.
yep.
Oh, this one's my favorite. Audio quality is dog shit.
Oh no.
I feel like that's more for older shows now
Yeah, older shows
or low budget.
100%. Yeah, because older shows had less budget and like so just like watching them back sometimes is a little hard production wise because we've come a long way since. But
Yeah.
man, some of the older ones, it's just like God, like someone's phone is like ringing in the middle of like shooting and like damn, what was I watched one recently. The audio quality was so bad. It was One Day Good Day. I fucking love that show. Most of it's so good, but there's one scene where they're like sitting in a waterfall talking and you cannot hear a goddamn thing. It's so bad.
That aired this year. So and from GMM, isn't it?
That it is GMM
Yeah,
TV.
so it's
Yeah.
it's the company that's got money and it still has bad audio.
I
Oh my
do think that
god.
I do think GMM TV they have money, but they have so many shows that not all of their shows are the highest quality. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, the audio quality thing. Sodus is like that. That was one we talked about recently where the audio was a little rough. I was listening to it with earbuds in and one side was louder than the other side, but it wasn't like a surround sound. Like it wasn't the where it's supposed to be. It was should have been even audio, should have been mono audio and instead of dynamic and it was still once like I could hear it louder in my left ear than my right ear.
Yeah. That one's
God.
rough, but it gets a pass for being like the first one, you
Yeah,
know.
it's iconic. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um and then the side couple who gets together before the main couple.
I love that trope though. And speaking of like K dramas, because sometimes their storyline is cuter than the main one, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's a couple I can name that are like that.
Ones because I can't think of any.
Okay, I think Cherry Magic, the straight couple who are the side couple, I really, really liked them.
I don't even remember them.
It was Jan and
Oh,
what's his name? He's also in a lot of shows, but
yeah. I remember that now.
yeah.
Um,
That's like the one that came to mind immediately. But like there's a bunch of other shows where like the side couple will get together before the main couple and then I honestly get annoyed because I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm not watching this for you guys.
Yeah.
That's true.
Someone gets shot.
Oh, I love that one.
I do too. It happens so much.
See,
Okay.
this is the difference between Thai dramas and East Asian dramas.
See, I was gonna say that's a little different.
Yeah, Thailand has guns, so we feel very at home as
As a
Americans.
good old Americans, love that.
Yeah, it's mm, unless it's like a high school show or like maybe a college show, there's a high probability of somebody getting shot.
Yeah.
My God.
One of my favorite
What?
shows is a college show and someone still gets shot. So,
Which one?
um that it would be Bad Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic
Th-
show, but it's like why? For the drama, of course.
I think that happens in the Pon Puin show too.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're proving your bingo point here.
Yeah. We of course have a free space. And then we have pretty cute. We have a piggyback ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like usually someone's either hurt or drunk when that happens.
Yeah, usually drunk.
Um, another favorite is the side lesbian couple. Um,
Yes.
representation.
Let's go lesbians.
Love that. Let's go,
Yeah.
lesbians. Let's go.
Go. Just in general, sports. There's always gonna be like some sports today.
Yeah,
Okay.
a
I
lot
can
of
see that.
soccer, sometimes basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can see that definitely happening in the college ones.
Oh yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
there's always
Most of them are college ones, so that's why.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we have the 11th episode curse that we've talked about.
Mhm.
And then the trip and dip, which is where someone falls and is caught in the arms of the other person.
Ah, okay.
Less common now, but I do see it sometimes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it happened in 4 minutes
Oh,
in like
I
the
think you're
earlier
right.
episodes, like at the hospital.
Yeah, actually, I
Um,
think you might be right. You're so right. So, still relevant.
yeah, maybe less so. Might be one worth swapping out at some point.
Yeah. We have wiping the other person with a towel.
I'm so that's so specific once
So,
again.
I know. Okay, so this I think is why. Most people at least from what I see in the shows in Thailand because it's a very hot, humid country. A lot of people shower in the morning and at night. And so sometimes in dramas like when at night when someone's like too drunk to shower or like sick
Oh, I
or something like
see.
that, instead of like, making them get in the shower, like the other person will kind of give them like a little towel, like sponge bath. So that is commonly in these dramas as well.
Okay.
I'm watching a show called Monster Next Door right now, which is a college show, and there's no monsters in it. Um, but there was
Oh,
definitely just a
love that.
scene. I was hoping for the guy next door to be like a just an
A
obnoxious
vampire.
monster, right? Not I knew he wasn't gonna be a vampire, but it was one of those I was like waiting for him to just be really obnoxious, and I was kind of wanting an enemies to lovers show. It's not what I got. Um,
Mm,
but they did just have a wiping scene.
yeah, they're always wiping.
Oh,
Yep, 3
wiping.
episodes in, got to it.
Gosh.
Yep. And then we have the beach trip we talked about. There's a lot of beach trips.
Yeah.
Um,
Good for them.
Honestly, yeah, I would too if I lived
Yeah,
near
if I
beautiful
could, I would
oceans.
be at the beach all
yeah.
the time.
Mhm.
hmm And then we have the engineer or architecture major. Um,
Very important.
yeah.
So I'm assuming those are definitely for the college ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even sometimes like beyond, like it'll be like adult, but they'll be like an architect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
but yeah, like 90% of the time, if it's a college show, they're either an engineer or an architect.
Mhm.
Um,
And we also have there's usually an underwater or a rooftop kiss.
I really like the
Under-
underwater kisses.
I feel
I'm
like
trying-
yeah, they're nice, but I sometimes I think about it and I'm just like I don't think I could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
trying to
behind
like
the
visualize how it would even go. I'm not
That's
sure if
how
I.
someone almost drowns.
Oh no.
so in Love Sea they have underwater kisses. And like watching the behind the scenes on that was so complicated because they had to learn to scuba dive because they're like in the ocean scuba diving when they do it.
Oh my god. What?
So they're literally scuba diving and they have to like kiss and then like go back
They
to
have to
scuba
take off their
diving.
gear? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would panic so hard, honestly.
Oh,
So
1000%.
there's there's one scene in that I it was stressful. I think it's one of them was having like a nightmare and so he was dreaming that he was like in the ocean without his gear on and so he was starting to drown and so they had to film that in the ocean. And then they filmed part of it in like a pool too, I think, but still like he was like, "Yeah, I was down where I was supposed to be," and then like 5 feet away was the guy with like the oxygen for me so that I
Oh
could breathe when the
god.
scene was done.
I
That's
would freak
horrible.
out.
I would
Yeah.
panic immediately.
So he said with training, and then he has to, trust his crew. So, but I think it's one of those where a lot of times that it's all the same crew, and so it's people you're close with anyway.
Mhm.
That's true.
This one might be my favorite square in this whole thing, though. The extremely obvious product placement.
This is so important for Thai BLs because a lot of them are free on YouTube. How they make up for it is with
Oh.
extremely obvious product placement throughout the show.
Okay. That
My
I think that makes sense though. I can
Yeah.
understand it, but it still doesn't make it any less funny.
Yeah.
There's one show where there's like something serious that's happening. So they'll have the scene with something serious, and then they cut to one of them in the bathroom brushing his teeth. And so the advertisement is
Okay.
for toothpaste. So they advertise the toothpaste, like they zoom in on it and he's brushing his teeth, and that is the only thing happening. There's no plot happening.
No,
And then
like
they
someone
go back
What
fucking
the heck?
dies and then they go teeth brush.
and then they go
Oh
back
my
to plot.
It's
what?
crazy.
And
Yeah.
and then
Oh
there's
my
like
god.
the drink too. So there's a lot of times where there'll be like a drink. And so all of a sudden it's like angled perfectly while they're drinking and it's like zooming in and you can see like their Adam's apple like going up and down while they're drinking.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That one's usually integrated well at least because it's usually just like, oh, like I'll buy my crush a drink or something. But some of them, like, I don't know. Some of them are just so out of place. It's like, what the fuck?
I was just gonna say, have either of you seen Madam Web?
No.
Yes, I've watched that recently, like maybe the last 2 weeks. I was so stoned. So whatever you say, I may or may not remember. But yeah,
Oh my god.
what was the
Well,
product placement in that?
like everything was like Pepsi
Oh
product.
yeah, yeah,
She was like holding it like perfectly showing the logo. Like
yeah.
the villain gets like killed by a Pepsi's like giant like light up
Oh,
sign.
that yes, you're so right. That was maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie, and I
Yeah, it was
loved it. I loved it.
same. It was so entertaining, but it was so terrible.
I could not get over that one guy who they just dubbed every line for him.
Oh, yeah, there were just random scenes of his mouth not even moving, and
Yeah,
then
I
somehow the voices coming out. Like,
know.
honestly, insane. The product placement, the editing, the acting, everything was
Yeah,
terrible, but
it would
I
fit
just
right in with Ty BL.
I just the product placement thing just reminded me of it, like,
Mhm.
is
Yeah, like that
I'm
pretty much.
yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, that level of things.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes even more obvious, you know? It's like we're
Oh
just gonna
god.
pause and do a KFC ad right now.
Oh,
Printer.
no.
Oh my god, my favorites print they're in Bad Buddy, once again, mentioning the show so much, but there's a scene where they're sponsored by a printer. And so multiple times in the show, they have to like integrate into the plot the main characters changing out printer ink and then they print something with their
Oh my
goddamn
God.
Canon printer. It's insane, but I love it. That's
Let
my
me go
favorite.
print my resume.
Yeah, they just like print out like silly pictures of each other, and I'm like, I love it though. I eat it up.
Favorite is going to forever be 4 minutes.
Yes.
They're sponsored by Durex.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah,
So multiple times they'll just open up a drawer full of like
full.
condoms and like single use packets of like lube, which I didn't even know you could buy.
Hey, we're here for the safe sex.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it was just one of those. I was like, one of
That's
them.
the thing.
Yeah, there's one scene where one of them like grabs a condom out, puts the condom on. Can't see, it's below camera, right? And but and then he grabs another thing out and he's like looking at it, and then the other guy grabs it out of his hand, and I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like,
Yeah,
why
you
are
were
we
like,
both?
didn't we
We're
already do that part?
Yeah, like we already put a condom. Do we both need condoms? What is happening? And then all of a sudden he just rips it and like pours like lube in his hand, and I went, oh,
Hmm.
I'm like, interesting.
Kind of a
Okay.
waste of plastic, but it's fine.
A waste of plastic.
Yeah,
I
just buy
mean,
a big
instead of a
bottle,
bottle, yeah. But yeah, I think that was my favorite now because it's just so unhinged to just outright be like sponsored by condoms.
Yeah.
Especially when one of them, the guys in the show, is like, let's do it raw. Like half the show.
I
Oh my
literally
God.
they put that I swear they only put that in the show just so they can have another character be like, "No, we need to use Durex." Swear to
That
God.
makes sense.
But yeah, the next one on the bingo, we're almost done with the bingo. But the next one is everyone is gay, at least 6 people.
Well, I think that's understandable in a
Yeah,
BL.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
It's understandable, but it's still really funny when literally the entire cast is gay.
Yeah, there's some shows where it's like you think people are straight and it's like, nah, you thought wrong.
Well, you did say about the random lesbian couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then the last square is somebody whips out a guitar because that happens way more than it should.
This I feel like I should have expected this one after you guys saying like everyone sings.
Yeah, every goddamn show, someone whips out the guitar and I fast forward, to be honest.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I don't want to hear you sing. I'm sorry. You can be a great singer. I cringe when someone's getting serenaded.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to watch unless you're the person, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what gets me is when they get up on stage and you can tell it's dubbed over.
No, no.
That the way the sound quality changes drives me insane.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like that kind of goes well into one of my other questions about the audio.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were wondering if um most are actually audio or if it gets dubbed like Chinese dramas do.
Yeah.
I would say so most shows, the whole show is actually audio.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never watched a show that was dubbed before, like fully. I think the only parts that are sometimes dubbed are the singing. Like if the actor's not a great singer, like sometimes they'll just leave it
Yeah.
in and it'll just be bad, but sometimes they will dub that, like High School
Yeah.
Musical.
Okay. Like High School Musical.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
Troy.
it's really obvious when they do because like it's literally like CD quality song all of a sudden happening. Um,
Well,
and
yeah, I think that would like you were saying, like that would be I don't know, pretty obvious like if you were saying if it was like a bad quality audio for the
yeah,
drama and then all of a sudden you get like
studio.
yeah, studio
Mm,
HD like background. That's a little suspicious.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
otherwise they're not like dubbed over.
Okay.
So
no, because so the Chinese dramas get dubbed because of the accents. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's why they get dubbed over is the accents, and I think because the Chinese is a little different from each of them a little bit, but it's a lot of it has to do with the accents from it. And so in Thailand they have accents too from different areas. But they
Hmm.
actually um one I think the actors all have to just learn like to drop their accent. Um,
Oh, okay.
which I mean that's typical in like K-pop too, because that's the I can't think of the word for it, but like they
The
lose
like
their
Satori or
yeah,
something.
they have to drop their satori when they talk. And it's always cute when someone comes out with it and you're like, "Wait a second." Um,
Mhm.
and I think it's closer to that with like Thai actors of they'll learn probably I would say whatever the Bangkok accent is.
Mhm.
'Cause like you'll hear like the southern accent will be like a plot point sometimes. Because
Oh,
it'll be somebody's
okay.
from the south.
Yeah, because 'cause it'll be like a different, like, dialect almost. So sometimes,
Yeah.
like, character
Yeah.
from Bangkok moves up north and then has a hard time, like, understanding, the dialect and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you'll see it from like that. Cause with the South, that one was one recently in Love Sea. They went south and all of a sudden, like, they were Thai subtitle.
Mhm.
And then I think, like, Chiang Mai also has a different accent.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking with Tale of a Thousand Stars because he moves up north and, um,
yeah,
yeah, there's, like, slightly a different dialect that the actors have to speak in, but they don't dub it, so.
yeah. So you'll see it that way, but it'll like they'll make a point of it in the show, like bringing up that there's a different accent.
Okay. That makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. And to go through some of your other questions, you asked, how are Thai BLs different than other countries' dramas?
So I'd say every country it does it differently. So if we look specifically like Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, and Thailand, I would say would be like the five big ones maybe.
Mhm.
Um, they're all very different. And you have
Yeah.
like your tiers of how spicy they get is kind of like a good way of like starting with that.
Okay.
Because like China, BL is technically banned in China. So you're not gonna see like a BL where like the guys are like kissing or like dating or anything like that. You're not really gonna see that. It's gonna be more of a bromance.
Yeah,
Um,
heavily queer-coded bromance.
yeah, like
Okay.
you can read between the lines and understand what's happening, but you're not gonna see anything outright. Um, they're
At
also
least your
those are
TV shows, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and they're gonna be pretty long because like the Untamed is what 50 episodes.
Yeah, The Untamed is, like, one of my all-time favorite shows, and it's a BL, but it's a Chinese show, so it's, not the show itself isn't explicit, but it's based on a novel, like, that is
Yeah.
gay, so.
So that's the one that I like have seen the most of and like know the most about because
Mhm.
um my cousin actually is very like into BL and like reads the webtoons and things like that and but she's
Hell
mainly
yeah.
on like the Chinese side of it. So she would
Mhm.
like she talked about like the Untamed and everything. So that's kind of like that's the only one that I really like know of mainly, but I didn't realize that it was so long. Oh my gosh.
It's like 50 episodes, and I wish there were 50 more, but that's
I
that's a
guess
story for
well,
another time.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it
Chinese.
though, but yeah, they were pretty long in China.
Yeah, and Chinese dramas in general, I would say, are pretty long. Like, it's not uncommon for them to be like 30 plus episodes.
And
Yeah.
that's like an hour each of all of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
But, like, in Korea specifically, their BL dramas are typically really short. Like, only recently did they start kind of funding, like, full-length dramas, but a lot of them will be, like, uh, it'll be, like, a couple 10-minute episodes or something like
Oh,
that. Or, like,
okay.
a lot of the dramas will be, like, 10 minutes,
So kinda
whereas
like the web drama kinda thing.
yeah, most of them in Korea at least are, like, web dramas, and in
Okay.
Thailand, it's more like a fuller length show, like we said, like,
Okay.
45 minutes, 12 episodes is
Yeah.
standard. And
So,
a lot of them are funded, like, a bit
A little
more.
better, yeah.
yeah, you're lucky with a Korean one if you get a 30-minute episode.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like 6 episodes, 8 episodes, something like that. Um, there was one recently that I think is either just about to air. It's 51-minute episodes.
Oh.
Interesting
Yeah.
length.
So, yay. I don't know how to watch that.
Yeah.
It's like some sort of like TikTok show or something.
Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
it's like like they're 1-minute episodes, but there's 50 of them,
Yeah.
Oh
to
my
be clear.
lord.
Yeah, like, it's like,
That
they should just put
what?
this on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, but I guess for his actual like content, Korean BLs are you're gonna see a little more clarity on like them being actual BL. Like they'll outright say that they are, um, than like in the Chinese ones where they skirt around it. But
Yeah.
it'll be openly BL, but it's most likely not gonna go past like a couple pecks. You're gonna see like the fish kiss, or maybe a little bit of a deeper kiss in maybe the more recent ones. Um, but it's still it's pretty.
But not like
You're not gonna see a sex scene, to be honest.
yeah.
I can't think of one from when we did an episode just on Korean BLs.
Yeah, the only one is maybe, like, The Eighth Sense.
Yeah. And even
Okay.
that one wasn't
Very
like
tasteful, you know?
yeah, it was the
Very
probably the
tasteful.
closest to
Very
yeah.
demure.
It was the closest to a full-on sex scene, but it still wasn't what I'm used to at this point.
Yeah, because Thai BLs, they kinda just full go in, you know?
So I think about the Japanese dramas, um, I think this is like part of my questions obviously like spurred other questions. Whenever I was
Mhm.
thinking about the Japanese dramas, I was thinking about like there's obviously kind of like what you said at the beginning with um Japan's like BL being yaoi. I feel like there's a lot of yaoi manga that gets made into like Japanese shows. So
Mhm.
like is that normally how some of the Thai dramas are? Like do they get made from other media or is it kind of just like all over the place? If
A
that even
lot of
makes sense.
them yeah, a lot of them are based on novels.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, some shows are, like, standalone, whatever, not based on anything. A lot of them are based on, like, novels. There's a pretty popular author named Mame, or whatever, how you would choose to pronounce it. She said she doesn't care. But she's wrote a couple novels that have been adapted into shows. Like, she's like 2 or 3 or 4 at this point. I'm not sure. Um and some of them are
I think.
3, yeah. And like
'Cause
some I think are being adapted based on webtoons, but novel is like the most common. So,
Okay.
mhm,
And
yeah.
is it like Thai novels or like just any kind of novel from that's just like boy like BL?
I think most of them are gonna be Thai, but then there's some like My Stand-In that I mentioned earlier is actually
Mhm.
based off of a Chinese novel.
Oh, okay.
mhm.
But like Mamie, or Mame, however, she she's Thai because she works on the shows too, so she helps with like casting and scripting and directing and stuff depending on the show.
Okay, well
So,
that's pretty cool. I'm glad that like I don't know, I like whenever I don't know, a story that you read becomes like a
Mhm.
webtoon or which then becomes like a show or something. It's like if you really love the story, it's fun to watch it in like all different forms of media, I guess.
Yeah, and, like, another question you asked was, do they have remakes of other countries' shows? And
Yeah.
answer is yes. Mostly there are a lot of Thai remakes of Japanese BLs, because
Okay.
Japanese BLs are a little older, I would say. Like, some of the Japanese BLs, like, are from quite a while ago, and so some of those, like, older ones have been adapted recently, so there's Osan's Love, which is getting an adaptation, there's Cherry Magic, there's My Love Mix-Up, and then, like, for the first time, at least that I can think of, we are finally getting a Japanese adaptation of, like, a Thai BL. They're adapting Love in
Oh,
the Air,
cool.
and so I'm like, "Oh, I wonder how that'll be," because usually it's the other way around, so
I'm really excited for that one. So our podcast is named after Love in the Air. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that was my first BL, or at least my first Thai BL. Um, and it's a really good one. I really like it. I don't know that I would recommend that as a first one, but
Mhm.
why I went 0 to 100. It's fine. Um,
Yeah.
so and we already have the cast for the new one because they're already filming or they're already done filming, one of the two, because the show's coming out in November already. Um, and they only announced it like a couple weeks ago. But we've been getting like stuff and they've been active on like TikTok and whatever. And the original cast has hung out with the new cast, which is kind of
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
The whole Love in the Air cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow. I'm on the my drama list for the Japanese one, and it has like
Kai
a count. Uh,
or Koi, Kai, something like that. It should be Love
yeah,
in the Air Kai, something.
yeah, Love in the Air Koi no Yokan. And it has like a little countdown until the first episode airs November 2nd, 11
Ooh,
a.m.
coming up. Okay, another question you asked, I guess, just since we've been comparing. Do you tend to enjoy Thai BLs more than other countries' shows?
Um, so I have been binging a lot of Japanese BL lately, but I think overall I do still like the Thai the best. Um,
Is there
I think
any specific reason why, or just
I mean, I think Thai just has like the best production value, and then like the problem with shorter shows when you have like 6 episodes that are half an hour, there's only so much plot you can get through, so you don't always get that like character development that you need to like really connect with some of the characters. Um,
that's true?
and then I feel like a lot of the Japanese BLs, there's always like this one character is like really timid and quiet and like kind of a bumbling idiot type, and then the other one is like this grumpy, like quiet loner dude. It seems to be kind of the common like pairing, um, which is fun to watch. I like that trope, but like it's just the same thing over again, is what it feels like. Um, but Thai has a lot more variety that I've watched. Um, and it's definitely my go-to in the end. So,
Yeah, I agree. I like Thai dramas the most. Um, Mostly because I like the Thai sense of humor a lot. Like, especially compared to like Korean and Japanese BLs, it's just like it's much more, I don't know, matches my sense of humor. And
mhm.
I also really like I think a lot of Thai shows have a more, I don't want to say like accurate portrayal, but because there is such a wide variety and like diversity in queer shows, I do think it more like accurately reflects queer relationships and characters and stuff. Like there's a lot more like progressive messaging, I think, in a lot of these shows.
Right.
Like specifically like there's a show called 3 Will Be Free that I watched a long ass time ago, but that one deals a lot with like um what's it like being like trans in society and like you know the complications that come with that and
Mhm.
like um or like Wandy Good Day had a whole like campaign for getting like your HPV vaccine and stuff like that and like some other things that I think are just like reflect a little bit more into real world like queer couples
Yeah.
that I find fun and also they have lesbians and that's all I want. I just want the lesbians.
Let's
Um,
go lesbians.
go lesbians, let's go. But yeah, a lot of shows they'll either have like lesbian side characters or couples, or they have recently started producing GL shows, which you know, lesbian shows with that, and they're the main couple, and it's a newer thing, but I would love to see more. So that's why
Exciting
I
seeing more.
yeah, and also because another reason a lot of Thai shows, like I mentioned before, are like just very easily accessible, like English dubbed on YouTube, you know, from release. So I really like just the convenience of that.
Hmm.
That's true. You mentioning the like GL shows, that I feel like that is true. I feel like there's not as many like I don't know, as much like lesbian content as there is for I don't know, the BL shows.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely not.
No, I do. I definitely think. Okay, I don't know if you do you know the YouTuber ContraPoints?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, she is one of my favorite YouTubers. She's like a philosopher and she makes these amazing essay style videos. And she made her most recent video is about Twilight. I highly recommend watching that, but there is a part of that where she kind of explains one of the reason why women like BL shows is because it is a way to kind of explore relationships with men that don't have a sort of like power imbalance. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, it's a lot to think about. It's a deep subject that, can't dive into, but it does make sense like some of these like darker shows like Kin Porsche, which are like kind of mafia based and stuff, where it's like kind of a way where it's like, okay, if it was like, you know, like it almost sounds like a double standard, but it is kind of a sense of like if just taking like I want to, put myself in the situation, but I want to take away the fact that like being a woman, there are like power imbalances that like I don't want to think about when I want to like um think about like sexual relationships specifically. Like I don't know. I can't explain it very well. She words it much better and makes
No,
a lot more sense, but
I think that does make sense because that was like something that I don't know, another like question or something that I was wondering because I know that there's like people talk about like cis heterosexual women that watch these shows and like is it bordering on I don't know, like fetishizing or like things like that. I've seen like a lot of I don't know discussion about that and like that demographic of like a cis het woman would be me. So I'm like, what would what would it be like? I don't know, watching one of these shows, like would that be okay kind of thing? And like that does I feel like that does put a lot of
Mhm.
it like into perspective for because I know that like these shows are obviously very very popular and like popular for a reason, especially with women. So
Mhm.
it's
I
just
do think a lot of this is also very popular with like queer women and queer men as well. And I think people who are criticizing it kind of tend to ignore that as well.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like a whole big topic and there's also kind of the idea too where like okay, I think one of the reasons why the fish kiss is so big in K-dramas is because in a lot of societies, ours as well, like women are not supposed to really enjoy like sex and stuff like that. Like you're not supposed like so that's why like I think the fish kiss is there because it's like oh we can't show a woman like wanting this sort of like interaction. And I think by taking the characters and making them both men as well, it kind of takes away that gut reaction where like women can't enjoy like these kind of things and it's like okay well if they're both men then they can both actively enjoy this type of relationship you know
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah
when I first got into BL before, like the reason I didn't watch it before was because I was also concerned about like it being a fetish thing, and I was like, I don't want that to be why I watch it. Like, and I still, I don't. That's not why I watch it.
Yeah.
It's not a fetish of just ooh watching two guys make out. That's weird. If honestly, if I wanted that, I'd just go watch porn, right? Um, to be real.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I mean, and then it's one of those. It's not that there's not interesting like straight plots, but I mean it's the plots are different. There's a different dynamic to everything all of a
Mhm.
sudden, right? Because it's
Yeah.
classmates, it's a roommate sometimes if you look at the college ones. It's it's a different dynamic even with the coworker thing because it's more likely to be like an equal or something like that than like there's that weird oh I can't talk to her that way because it's a girl all of a sudden. So it does take it's what Shy was saying. It takes that weird imbalance and having to be respectful and not touch each other and stuff type of dynamic out of it and the power play that is naturally there in most of our societies. So,
As well too I do think like I mean especially for me one of the reasons I started watching these is because they didn't make queer American shows during a time where I was figuring out that I wasn't straight. And so like this is
Right.
what I watched. I was like, well, Thailand's doing it, so like this is what I'm watching.
Yeah.
But it does add another like element to the plot. Like I honestly I strongly like I do like I watch plenty of straight shows and books and whatever, consume that content, like straight romance. But I do kind of I am always kind of confused when it's like a forbidden romance, but it's straight and it's like no one's forbidding this. But when it comes to like a queer relationship, you do have the added aspects of like society and family and stuff. And like
Right.
that in itself, like you can have a queer show where it's just about like where the whole point of the show is trying to overcome these obstacles and like to, find true love and stuff, as whereas like you can't do that in a straight show because it doesn't make sense, you know?
That's a
And
good point.
yeah, so it's just like kind of another thing where it's like a lot of like straight romance shows, like, it can't, a lot of times it can't just be about the romance because you need extending plot elements, I feel, but like a lot of these gay shows are very coming of age focused, and like that in itself is a whole story. And so yeah, I think that's like, especially, when I was growing up, I really gravitated towards this. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like Chicken comes to mind with that, with the poor
Yeah.
and gay.
Yes. Oh my God. Moonlight Chicken. I love that show. But yeah, a lot that show is like very much about, you know, being queer and then growing up and, I don't
Right.
know.
Like discovering yourself kind of thing.
Yeah. Like having to be the mentor of people who are like you've gone through that, but now like your nephew's going through that, and it's like, oh, how do I like it's
Mhm.
I had a hard time growing up. How do I make sure like he doesn't go through what I went through, kind of thing. So yeah, I guess that's a TLDR, I guess, of like
Yeah.
why we like this, and also I don't
Yeah.
know, it's just fun. Like
Yeah.
it's just fun content.
It's just
As
a goofy fun show.
Yeah, as a bisexual, I like to see men kiss other men. I like to see them kiss women. I like to see women kiss other women. It's just like it's just fun. Everyone likes like romance in general,
Mhm.
and it doesn't I mean, like, so what if,
Yeah.
you're not partaking in a couple, like you're not, you don't have
Yeah.
to in order to enjoy it.
I think it's one of those that it's honestly it starts to make sense when you watch it yourself and you're like, "Ah, this is why people watch it." And it's usually
Yeah.
just 'cause
Yeah.
it's just a good show. It's like, who cares what gender anyone is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
If
Yeah,
the
I
show's
guess
entertaining, like who cares?
Yeah.
do we wanna go into our, like, recommended beginner shows then?
I will write these down. I'm ready with my keyboard. Well, I
Yeah.
guess not write them down. I will type them.
Um, I think the only one on this list that I actually wrote down myself was Bad Buddy, um,
Mhm.
which is one of your favorites. Um,
Yes. I
I liked
love,
it
love the
too.
show.
So this is about on the younger side, but because they're are they high school or college?
It is college.
College, yeah. Um,
But
but
they do talk about high school a good amount because they knew each other in high school. But yeah.
yeah, so they're like next door neighbors. But yeah, it has really good chemistry between the two male leads, which is why the fact that the ship broke is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Um, uh, but yeah,
Okay.
the cons would be that it is lower on the production value with the budget, and the plot might not always make sense. Um,
This is the show we talked about that has the printer ad. It's the one where someone gets shot.
Oh.
It's the one where the couple, the actors broke up, and the fans are mad
Oh
about
my
it.
god.
This,
I feel like
yeah,
this one I feel like is like star, star, star. I need to
yeah,
watch this just for like the drama and everything that goes around it outside of the show.
yeah. There's a lot
yeah.
going on.
So, but I do think this one's better because are there any NC scenes? I don't remember any.
But, no, nothing
No.
like super explicit. This is an older one, so it was
Yeah.
kind of like it was kind of when I watched this, I was shocked at how quick the relationship moved because prior to this show, most relationships were like, okay, you wait till the last episode and then they get together. And this show isn't like that. And so yeah, there's no like NC scenes, but it is like from the time it was significantly more like explicit in their gayness.
Risque.
Yeah, risque. Yeah, it's a good way to phrase it.
Yeah. But I also think it's maybe a little better to not jump headfirst into something that's got like nothing but NC scenes.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely like I think this is a good one to start with because it is like because it is older and stuff, like, you know, a little bit lower expectations, but it's still like one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, because even though it's older, I watched it like late last year, I think, or maybe early this year, and I still enjoyed it, right? So even though it's the production might not be what I expect out of 2024, it's still worth watching.
Mhm.
Okay. Have it written down on my list.
And then honestly for you, Tristan, I'd recommend Only Friends. This
Oh my
one
gosh. First
com-
cow tongue.
yeah, First Cow Tongue, they're here. Um This is a show for the fans of like Gossip Girl and like other like if you want like a mess, this is it.
Okay.
This
Amazing.
is yeah, this is my favorite BL. It is like an ensemble cast, so like some of them are gay, some are bi, some are lesbians, whatever, but most of it's like BL.
Mhm.
Um, but it's extremely messy, extremely chaotic. The show really shines with its complex characters. Like all of them, like you'll love and you'll hate them, and they really genuinely feel like real people.
Yeah.
Um,
There's nobody that's a straight green flag.
mhm.
Oh god, okay. So yeah, really messy.
Yeah, it's never boring.
No.
And this one, it's technically a college, like they're all college age and they're all college students, but like they don't really go to school ever,
Yeah,
so
okay.
you know, it's more like outside of school and stuff. And so
Okay.
yeah, this one it's not if you're looking for like a fluffy, chill romance show, this is not it. But if you want exciting, messy chaos, then Only Friends is your show.
Maybe
Okay.
don't watch this in front of your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is definitely a lot I
Spicy.
I told Sydney to watch this. I didn't specify anything and she started watching it at a hockey game
Oh
and
no.
she's like I had to turn it off in the first like 10 minutes cuz they're like already fucking. So yeah. So that's
All
your
right.
warning.
I'll put a NSFW on there.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
Another one is Last Twilight. I
Okay.
love this one. This one aired end of last year, beginning of this year. Um, and this one is really interesting because it also plays into like the disability because one of the characters in the show is blind, one of the main.
Oh, okay.
Um, so and it's there's a lot of like complicated parts to all the characters there. They all like everyone's got like kind of a rougher history in it. This one was not born blind, I will say, and the other one went to prison for a while.
Yeah.
um,
I'm looking at like the poster. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like
Mhm.
I don't know the poster. That's what I'm gonna say. The
yeah,
poster for it, and the guy on the top does look very like bad boy esque.
Yeah.
I got. I'm curious which one it is if it's right.
It's like blue and stuff, right?
Yeah. Here, I'll send it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
think the
it's
ideas are
it's
both kind of
Jimmy.
like oh yeah, yeah. They're
It's
both
Jimmy
like
on
kind of
top.
on the outskirts of society, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's honestly it is a really like beautiful relationship, and it's. I think I cried quite a bit
Mm.
during this one.
Yeah, this is the
Oh
only show I watched that I cried while watching.
I
god.
cannot say that.
Okay.
I have cried a
No,
lot.
will cry.
Yeah.
Might as well just put it on there.
I like your note taking.
I
Yeah. So the show isn't like perfect with its disability representation, I will say. Um
Mhm.
there's that. Mark is in this one that we talked about. He's also in Only Friends. Um
Yes. Yes, he's in both.
yeah. Um
this guy. Okay. my,
Yeah.
my drama list. Love this website. It is helping me out so much here.
It's the best. It's my favorite
yeah.
website.
There's no way I would have kept up with how much BL I've binged in the last year if it wasn't for this.
Yeah, I
Um,
log everything.
yeah. So Last Twilight is definitely, I'd say, like top 5 drama for me. Um,
Yeah,
this was one of those I felt empty for a while when it ended. I was like, now what?
I know. Yeah, because I watched it while it aired too. So,
Yeah.
and then I would say, yeah, my other recommendation is it's called A Tale of a Thousand Stars.
Okay.
Um, this one it is um I guess basic like summary. Um, like our main character, he is kind of like, rich party boy. But he has a heart condition and um he needs a heart transplant and then he gets a heart transplant and it's from a woman who was like a volunteer teacher in like a poor village in the north of Thailand, and he kind of wants to like repay her for like what she's done, like cuz she donated her heart. And so he goes and like volunteers in her place. And so the plot of the show, it's amazing. It's very heartfelt. Um it is extremely light on the romance, so I honestly like I don't want to sometimes I recommend the show and I don't want to disappoint people because like
Yeah.
there
I think that's
isn't like there's romance, but it's like on the spicy scale, it's like negative spice, you know? So
yeah.
this is one where it's just like it's a great show in general, and yeah, there's just like so much heart into it that I love the show, and I love the actors and stuff. So I would I would recommend this one as well.
One I
Okay.
haven't seen. Is this Earth Mix?
This is Earth Mix, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. I do love Earth Mix, though, I will say.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
they're wonderful.
Yeah, this is on my list of shows to watch. So Earth Mix and First Cow Tongue are really good friends. They're our introverted club. Um, Anytime
Right.
there's like a big GMM party, you can always find them like in the corner doing their own thing. Um, the four of them.
Respect.
Yeah.
I,
And I guess the last one to recommend is gonna be Wandy Good Day that we've talked about. That's the one that's gonna have
okay.
Drake as our ace character, but he's a side character. But this one is really cute. Um, it's very light. It's very easy to watch, I would say. I wasn't like high stressed most of it because some of these will have me like high strung, stressed, anxiety.
Well, especially if people are getting shot and drowning, it's understandable.
Honestly, I'm so unfazed by the drowning at this point.
Yeah, the drowning, man, in all of these, there's so many.
Getting shot still stresses me out, but
Yeah, Bad
um,
Buddy has shot and drowning, so there you
Oh
go.
God.
we need to do a bingo for that one day.
I know that Bad Buddy, it's blackout, 100%.
Well, yeah, I'm excited. I have like 5 new shows. I will like write down thoughts as I
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, if you actually watch, let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't watch, I honestly understand, but
Yeah.
I
if
will
you
try to
do,
find time.
yeah. Which of these shows do you think are you're most interested in?
I would say probably the Bad Buddy one just because you said
Mhm.
that like it has all of the tropes, like
Mhm.
it's like an old one but good. Like it
It's like a
has
poster child for TyVL.
yeah, it has like some romance in it, but it's not like a lot of like in your face kind of like NSFW stuff. But
Mhm.
so I think that I will start with that one, I think.
Hell yeah.
Some,
Yeah, that one's right on YouTube, so
yeah, I think all the ones we named are on YouTube, right?
they
Because
are. Yeah, we
somehow
all
we
named
named nothing but GMM TV.
Amazing.
yeah, makes it easy, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you can find us on our socials as usual on Instagram and TikTok at bl.in.the.air. And then on Twitter or X at blintheair. We're also, of course, on Discord. You can find the links to all of that in our link tree. And we are streaming wherever you're listening. We'll
Mhm.
catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.